Hi there, this is Jill Hope here with I Shine Wealth, and in today's video, I am going to share the third hidden secret to creating more money, more freedom, and more impact and meaning in your life. Now, in the last two videos, we talked about the first two hidden secrets. Hidden secret number one is to understand your relationship with money, because your relationship with money holds in it the energy patterns of thinking, of feeling, and of acting, of decision making. And those patterns create your life. The things that you think about, the things that you do, the decisions that you make, that all ends up creating results in your life. And it's our relationship with things that are important in our lives that create these energy patterns. And as much as we may not want to admit it, money is such an important part of our life because it touches all the areas of our life. Our culture is set up in such a way that money is necessary in order to create certain things in our lives. And so if we're not paying attention to it, if we're not understanding how we relate to money at a deeper level, it's really hard to change it. And as I say in almost every talk I give and almost everything I write, is that how you do money is how you do everything. So we can really find out some key significant patterns, hidden patterns in your world that are related to your relationship with money. Hidden secret number two is that the story you tell yourself about whatever it is that you want in your life creates your results. That story creates your results because the story is really the vibration that you hold as you go through your life. And it's that feeling vibration, that energetic frequency that you're putting out into the world is what is attracting back to you these circumstances, the opportunities, and the synchronicities, the people that show up in your life, and all of those things. That is based upon your frequency, the frequency you're putting out, which is related to the words that you choose to think and tell, those stories that we talk about. Now, in today's video, I am going to share the third secret. Are you ready? The third hidden secret to create more money, more freedom, and more impact in your life is, drum roll please, when you're true to you, you get what you want. When you're true to you, you get what you want. Now, what do I mean by that? Well, how do you know if you're being true to you? Well, first of all, you need to know who you are, who you really are. And one of the ways we can see into who we are is to look at our desires. What are the things that are important to us? What do we love in our lives? What do we want more of? What do we want less of? What do we not like so much? Our desires, our preferences, our values, those are things that create a persona. They create who we are as a person. The desires that we have are a window into our heart and soul, and it can give us clues as to who we really are and what's important to us and what would add meaning to our life. So you want to think about and be aware of and accept and nurture your desires. Now, why would I say we have to nurture our desires? Well, something that's really important to understand is that your desires, they don't actually originate with you who's sitting here listening to this video. They actually originate from spirit. They originate from a higher place. They originate from source, God, the universe, whatever you want to call that higher intelligence that is holding together our world. So when you have a desire, that is God speaking through you and wanting to experience that thing, that experience through you, through your perception, through your experience, through your being. When you don't nurture that, when you ignore that, when you don't take it seriously, when you minimize your desires, you're basically ignoring that higher part of you, that deeper part of you, your soul. And when we do that, especially as women, because women ignore our desires much more than men do. When we do that, we are denying ourselves. We are abandoning ourselves. And it's really hard to live a fulfilling life when we're abandoning who we really are and what we really want. We've been taught to sacrifice as women, to put our needs and our desires to the side for all of those people that we love in our life. And while there is a part of that that makes up the whole female experience, we need to start to give more importance to our desires and actually put them first. Because when you are connected, when you are connected to yourself, when you are connected to what you want, when you are making decisions that are moving you along that path of those things that you want, which is really connected to your higher purpose in this world, then you are able to serve all of those people that you love at a much higher level. Plus, you feel more fulfilled. You show the people in your life how not to abandon themselves. You show everyone how to honor and nurture who you really are and what you really care about. We don't all have the same desires. What you want is going to be different from what your neighbor wants, which is going to be different from what your sibling wants or from what your parents want. And doesn't that kind of make you wonder why? Why wouldn't we all want the same things? But we really don't. There's something very special about what you want. And that's why it's so important to listen to that. Now, what we often do is we will make it wrong to go after what we want. And that's what we were taught. We were conditioned to believe that it was okay to want some things and not okay to want other things. An example that comes to mind in my own life is when I took a trip and I decided to book a first-class airline seat. Now, this flies in the face of anything I was ever taught about how to be responsible with money. I would hear things like, the airplane gets to the same place no matter where you sit in it. It's not that different of an experience. Why would you pay all that extra money to sit in a different location in the plane? And I listened to that for a long, long time. And I thought that I shouldn't want that. It's not okay to want that. I'll get to the same destination. It doesn't matter where I sit. And I denied myself a deeper desire. Now, I had reasons for that desire. And when I finally learned this, I started to listen. And so on this one particular trip, I thought, you know what? I am going to buy myself a first-class ticket. And when I allowed myself to do that, it provided a huge breakthrough for me. Because not only was I in this different space, a completely different energy on the plane, it wasn't just about the seat, it was about the feeling that I was able to tap into when I was sitting in that first class seat. And I even had different types of conversations with people on the plane. The whole experience was so uplifting and so affirming, and I ended up having the most amazing time on this trip. Not that I wouldn't have otherwise, but it set the tone for what I wanted to experience while I was away. So while I could have saved a few $100s by sitting in coach, I would have missed out on a huge experience. Not only the actual experience of being on the plane and being on the trip, but it was the experience of honoring who I felt that I am, who I want to be, and the direction that I saw myself going in. So in order to tap into this hidden secret, number 3, you want to think about, what do you want? What do you love? What is important to you? What are your desires? And you want to write them down. Take a moment to really feel it. And don't censor yourself, because you might feel the urge to not put some things down because perhaps you were conditioned that it was not okay to want them. Doesn't matter now. We're just going to play, and we're going to have a fun exercise where you write down everything you want, no matter how ridiculous it is, no matter how irresponsible it seems, no matter how frivolous it might be, no matter that you shouldn't want, whoever told you you shouldn't want it, it doesn't matter what voices in your head are trying to tell you that it's not okay to want that. If you feel it in your heart, write it down. This is the first step that you can take to start to really see, who am I? To start to own your desires, to start to listen to those inner yeses that are trying to get you on your path. There's another very big reason why you want to listen to your desires, and that is because your desires are like your inner GPS to lead you along the path of your purpose. When you ignore those desires, when you push them to the side, when you make yourself wrong for having them and you don't follow them, you make it harder for yourself to be in your purpose, to live at your highest level that your soul came here to live. Your desires are clues as to what steps you should be taking next. So it's really important to listen to them if you want to make an impact in the world. If you want to live free, if you want to create vast amounts of prosperity, and if you want to be fulfilled deeply within your soul. So start that list, see what those things are, give them some space to be seen, to be out in the light of day. Understanding what you really want, what those desires are, give a big window into who you really are and what your path and purpose is. And it will also give clues as to your next steps. And the really cool thing is that as you start to do this, as you start to really see and embrace all of those things that you really want, you also get a glimpse into some of the limiting beliefs that you might be holding on to that have been keeping you from those very things that you want all along. Now, as I mentioned in our last video, I've got a brand new program that I've just opened the doors on. It's called Transform Your Money Story. And what we do in the program is I work with you on all of the things we've been talking about in these videos, but we go much deeper. You'll understand who you really are when it comes to money, so you'll get a grasp of what your relationship with money is. We'll look at your money story. You'll get to see what your current money story is, and then how you need to change it so that you can move in the direction of what you want. And of course, if the thing that you're going for isn't money, maybe it's wanting to create a new business, or you want to write a book, or you've got some other goal in mind, you can use that goal through this process. But we start with the money because, as I've said, how you do money is how you do everything. So it gives us a lot of insight into how you're operating and how you need to shift, the subtle shifts you need to make in order to create what you want. And the other piece of this program is that through the process, you learn so much about who you are. And that's the third hidden secret we talked about. In fact, Aristotle said, knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom. And one of the great things about any personal development work that you do is that it helps you to get to know yourself better. And that's what this program will help you with as well. So Transform Your Money Story, you can access that program and learn all about what's available with that and how I support you in that program by going to ishinewealth.com/money story. And there's also a link down below for you to access the site. If you aren't sure whether or not the Transform Your Money Story program is the right next step for you and you'd like to have a conversation with me, or if you know that you want more support, you can reach out to me by having a Money Freedom Clarity Call. You can just go to ishinekids.com/money clarity and set up your call there. The link to do that is down below. So I hope this series of videos has helped to have you thinking a little bit bigger, having expanding in what's possible for you, and giving you some critical first steps that you can take to start opening that door and following that path that will have you creating more prosperity, more freedom, and more impact in your life. You deserve to have everything that your heart desires. We all do. And there's so much abundance in this world, but we've been taught not to see it. So it's time that we start undoing these subconscious limiting beliefs and start embracing who we really are as the powerful and abundant beings that deserve and desire more life, more prosperity, more purpose, more being in your power, and more joy in your life. I hope this has been helpful for you. I'm Jill Hope, and I hope to see you again in another video. I make videos every week, so please do subscribe if you haven't done so yet, and make sure you click the notifications bell so that you get notified when my next video is out. Take care, everyone. Until next time, be wealth. Bye-bye.